All right, I'm going to get started. Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, May 23rd. My name is David Hunsinger. I'm here from Specialized Business Solutions. Today, we are going to be talking about the advanced restrictions on scripts and a few things we've added to them. So, as always, we do this every Thursday. I'm going to go ahead and mute people, and then we can address questions at the end. And we do this every Thursday at 9 a.m., same log information, and the first Thursdays of the month are always Michael Gebb. And today we're going to talk about advanced restrictions for scripts. This is one of these features we like highlighting on the Keystroke Lives because it's very simple. It was a very small thing we added, but it's a very powerful thing, and I kind of like it because I was involved in, hey, this is how we at SBS enter sales, and this feature would really help us a lot to do that. The script editor is part of Advanced POS, and you can pretty much use it anywhere. So I've got a couple of examples here I'm going to show you, and then hopefully that'll let your imaginations run wild on all the different ways you could use these scripts. And I'm going to switch to my keystroke, and I have two examples here for you of things I thought up, but like I say, there's a lot of different possibilities. The first one is a pretty simple idea that you see in a lot of places, and that is if you purchase a certain amount, you get a free bag, or you can buy a teddy bear for $4.99. So what I can do, and it doesn't matter whether I put a customer on there or not, and if I sell them, say, a baseball cap and size extra large, okay, that's $12.50. We've said if you buy, let's say, $50 worth of if your invoice total is $50, you get a free bag. And so here I have $13.50. If I continue on, it just stays the same. But now if I add, say, another, we'll do 2 of the Basic Instinct. So now my subtotal is $60.30, so I've met that. So I can go ahead and hit enter, and I get a script popping up saying, hey, you get a free tote bag with a $50 purchase. Do you want this? If they say no, you can hit escape and they don't get it, or you can hit enter, and it automatically puts it on there. If I hit escape to back out, see it's added that canvas bag to the invoice. So this is a ending script that is, when you're finishing the invoice, it kicks the script on, says, hey, this is the subtotal. Should I do anything? How that looks and how that's set up, I'm going to go into my transaction parameters and then select entry and then select ending script. And here I've got my ending script that is add a free item. Just going to hit enter on that, and that pulls up the script. So I've got that message, you get a free tote bag. I'm having it, I chose the add item from list because then it pops it up and gives you the choice. I could choose tag along, and then it would just immediately add it to every invoice, but that's sometimes easy to miss. This add item from list kind of pauses for the clerk to select it. Also, if you were saying, hey, this is normally a $15 teddy bear, but with a $50 purchase, you can buy it for $5, that would be, you'd want it to stop there so you could ask them, hey, do you want to buy this or not? I chose for it to be a component, so it would just blank out the prices on the invoice. You can turn that off, and then it would just come up with the prices 0. So it's just a little bit different on how the printing and displaying handles whether it's a component or not. and I am selecting this canvas bag that I'm giving away for free. Now here is the tricky part, is there is this advanced restrictions down at the bottom. This advanced restrictions was originally added so that you could do a date range for a script to be, it was all date sensitive. Could be a date range, could be a time range, could be a day of week. That was, I think, Kennard Kohler down in Arkansas had a liquor store that had wine Wednesdays. And so we wanted scripts and special things to run just on Wednesdays, and so we put this in. And then just recently at the bottom, we've added this filter. And so I've got a filter in here, and then I'm just going to hit insert to pull up the list. I've selected line items, and in here, I just hit the letter, I must have started at, I select sales invoice, and then I go to subtotal. So I'm just selecting, saying, okay, if the subtotal of the invoice is greater than $50, or you could put $49.99, then this script will take effect. It'll just do nothing if the subtotal is $48, but when the subtotal goes to $52, it'll say, hey, you get this free bag. So this one little advanced restriction, adding this filter, opens up a whole bunch of possibilities for these starting and ending scripts. My other kind of brief example I've done here, I'm just going to go ahead and hit F10 to make sure all of that gets saved. And I'll just go ahead and complete this transaction and save it. So now, with certain items, what I'm doing is I'm going to sell this item, and let's see what the best example. First, I'll put on a customer. I'm going to sell this item. It's a C3PO laser printer. I'll select a serial number. There's a script running that says, do you want a cable? And I say yes. And then, okay, it was more than $50, so I get the canvas bag in there too. And I'll just put it on cash to make it simple. Now that was just selling that printer. What I've done, now if I don't enter a customer and I sell this printer, it's going to ask me for the serial number. Do I want a cable? And then I've put in a script with the filter saying, if there's no customer, you should attach a customer to this invoice, because that's going to help us track the warranty information. So it's like, okay, great. Let me get your name and address. I can hit F8 to pull up the customer list. Oh, yeah, I've got you in here, Mr. Anderson. And I can go ahead, and now I can complete my sale. And I'll just go ahead and put it on account, save it, and I'm ready to go. How that was set up, if I go, I've got that set up on the inventory item. I'm just going to hit F3 on the sales invoice. That brings up the sales invoice line item detail. If I hit F3 again, brings up the actual inventory record. That's the same as going to the database manager and selecting inventory. And then I'm going to select scripts, and I've got my script here to ask for the cable, and then I have my script to check for customer. And all I'm doing is a reminder message that pops up the statement to, hey, go add a customer. And then with my advanced restrictions down here, I've got my customer number less than 1, meaning the customer number doesn't exist. And so if there's no customer attached, it will do that. There's a lot of flexibility you can do out there, especially if you start thinking about things like this, that maybe if it's an employee customer, you put a prompt that's different than if it's a regular customer, or if there's, say, a garden center, you might have different scripts that run for a contractor versus a homeowner. There's a lot you can do on the item level, and then you can also do it for groups of customers and things like that with the starting and ending script. So this is one of these things we like highlighting on the Keystroke Live sessions, because it is a new feature. It's very powerful and flexible. There's a lot of things you can do. A great application of this would be bottle deposits, so that you could say, use this 5-cent item if it's an individual, use this 30-cent item if you're selling a 6-pack. And so with those advanced restrictions, you could say, here's a script to run for the whole department, and if it is marked as a 6-pack, it gets 30-cent bottle deposit. If it's marked as a single, it gets 5-cent bottle deposit. So you can do a lot. You can, for preferred customers or customers that need special needs, you could have scripts set up that just run for that one individual customer. So a client that is a delivery store and has 1 major or 5 major clients, they could do some special things so that their workers know how to treat them specially. So a lot you can do with that filter. Wanted to be sure you knew it was there. It is very helpful. We use it here. That's kind of why we put it in. So I've tested it and played with it quite a bit. Again, you can use it on any of the scripts. That is, and I'm going to go ahead and save this one. Like here, we were on a line item. And then you also have scripts, starting and ending scripts in the Sales Manager that you can run for every invoice, or if you want to run it for special invoices. Another example would be if your state was, say, Colorado, you could ask for a zip code or an area code if you wanted to collect marketing information for customers inside Colorado but not outside of Colorado. So, or if there isn't a customer attached, it could prompt and ask you for the zip code of the customer without having to attach an actual record to the invoice. So a lot you can do. I am going to go ahead and unmute everyone and ask if there are any questions about these advanced restrictions for scripts. Sounds like we got someone riding a bicycle back there. But a lot you can do with them. Think about it. I like focusing on these simple things that can do a whole lot for you in Keystroke.
I missed the first part of it, this session. This is about scripts?
Yeah, it's about starting. There's starting scripts, ending scripts, and scripts on items. And then you can do advanced restrictions on them so that they only run for certain customers or only run when the invoice is over $50. That was my other example. So with these advanced restrictions that are, if I go to ending script here and look at this one, with these advanced restrictions, I can set a filter for saying the invoice subtotal is going to be greater than $50, then this script will run. Or if the invoice total is less than $50, you could run a script that says, hey, if you buy $10 more of stuff, you'll get a free bag. So, I could add another script to do the opposite of this one to encourage the customer to buy more. So it's about the scripting function that's available in Keystroke Advanced POS.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Well, thank you for attending. Next week, Jay is going to talk about creating a report toolbar, which kind of takes reports, report queues, and toolbars and puts them all together. So we're taking things we've talked about in the past few months and kind of combining them into one idea. So we will look forward to seeing you next week, and have a great Memorial Day weekend.